you guys? It's your boy Jeameave back here at Views from the Heart, and today I got a 2019 Hyundai Kona, courtesy of South Bay Hyundai. Once again, thank you so much to Jermaine for this opportunity. It's packing a 1.6 liter turbocharged inline 4 codenamed Gamma engine with 175 horsepower and 195 pounds. Oh, look who could make it.
You know, what's good, y'all? You already know, boy, Machiavelli back again. West Side, about to do this other interview. What we doing, bro?
Anyway, no. So like I said, thank you so much to Jermaine and South Bay Hyundai for this opportunity. Remember, this is a brand new 2019 Kona. I actually really like the looks of this vehicle. It looks pretty sleek. It's similar to the Santa Fe, pretty aggressive.
CUV, baby.
CUV crossover utility vehicle. Remember, as I've been telling people before, this is what is America tending to buy and turning towards in terms of demographics, and the numbers are stating that people are these days are trending to buying these sort of vehicles. Something that offers a little bit more practicality with a little bit more sportiness. So let's go ahead and check and see what this Bible is all about. And it also has a dual clutch transmission, which I am surprised. Every time I've ever heard of dual clutch transmission, it's always been included in a high performance car. So I'm eager to see how it reacts in something that is, well, not necessarily a sport car, but some sport mindedness.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and check it out. So what's this like driving a 2019 Hyundai Kona?
Tell you, it's not a Camaro though, bro.
Although it is really small, it's somewhat spacious in here. My brother's 6'4", and although his legs are looking like chicken wings right now, the seat isn't all the way back. It's actually pretty comfortable in here. I do feel a definite sportiness to this, especially compared to the Santa Fe. The steering is definitely a lot more precise and a lot more compact, a lot more fun, to be honest. It's actually not that bad. I see the heads-up display over here. It's not as good as in the Santa Fe. The Santa Fe kind of, or the G90, excuse me, the G90 heads-up display. I mean, obviously that's an extreme price difference, but I'm just trying to give a comparison in terms of how the HUD displays are. Right. The HUD display in the G90 displayed it on the windshield itself. This displays it on a small glass screen right in, okay, thank you. Small glass screen right above the steering wheel. So essentially, this is what is being marketed as a CUV, a crossover utility vehicle. This is something that is trying to hit a marquee between and try to bring balance between something that's a little bit sporty, practicality, and you know, that's what it's trying to shoot for. Something that offers the practicality of a four-door SUV, and trying to infuse it with a more sporty, like-minded mindset in terms of what it's trying to offer. And when I first did a CUV before, I was apprehensive. For me, because if I want a sport car, I want a sport car. I want something dedicated to be a sport car. If I want a sedan, I want a sedan with something comfortable, luxury, things of that sort. And I feel like too often and more often than not, when people try to do too many things at once, one of them is going to be lacking too much and the other, and it's going to make for a less than desirable experience. But so far, I actually pretty much enjoy how it feels. Like I said, I've only been driving for a short while, but it feels very proper and stable on the road. And this is mated to a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, so I'll give a little pull right here.
Nice little 170 horsepower for you. Little vroom vroom. If you're trying to get to Kmart or Walmart, you know, a nice little jiffy.
It's not bad. You know, like I said, we have 3 people in here. Shout out to my guy Paul in the back again.
Hi, Paul.
Thank you so much to South Bay Hyundai. People, if you're looking for Hyundai, please hit up my guy Paul sitting with us in the back for his time.
Very cool guy.
So with that said, this is packing a 1.6 liter turbocharged inline 4 codenamed the Gamma engine. It is a gasoline direct injection engine, pushing 175 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. And like I said, what caught me off guard in the beginning was the fact that this is mated to a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. Now, when I hear dual clutch, that is usually synonymous with a high performance car. Now, I don't know about you, but 175 horsepower doesn't exactly equate to, you know, high performance.
Yeah, you can probably get somewhere faster on a moped or... But
to be honest, I would question that, because a moped to this, yeah, catch me in here.
I know, boy, well, you never catch me in the
But especially, I think that this would actually leave a moped in the dust. You know, it's deceiving, and I attribute that mainly to the transmission of how it handles this car and how it is propellant, and the weight. It has a low curb weight of just under 3,100 pounds. This is the ultimate trim and it is front wheel drive. The all wheel drive is just under 3,300 pounds. So this is a very low curb weight for what it is, and that's actually, look at it, I can feel it.
Mind you, there's 3 people in here as well.
Exactly, so you know, obviously, curb weight is just under 3,100. Realistically speaking, we're close to about 3,500 people with the occupants currently inside of it. And overall, like I said, I really enjoy how it feels because, like I said, I've driven a Santa Fe, and I did enjoy how the Santa Fe felt, but that felt like an SUV.
Right.
And that's understandable. I can appreciate that. It felt like an SUV, and that's my mindset. If it's an SUV, I always try, whenever I drive vehicles, I try to drive them contextually. If it's an SUV, I can expect it to handle like an SUV. But if it's a sports car and it's handling like an SUV, there's a problem there, you know. But this is something that is trying to be both. Right. Trying to have practicality, trying to have a little bit of sportiness, and just overall be a little bit more fun than what you would generally have from your everyday commuter. And honestly, I can sit here and honestly look in the camera and say that this is fun to me. This is something that I could definitely see something for like my daughter, my wife. This is an ideal starter vehicle. Right. It has enough horsepower to where, you know, if you can't handle a bicycle, you can't handle this car. So
if you can't handle a bicycle, man.
But you know, there are some drivers out there that I like that. So you know, it goes hand in hand.
Right.
But overall, like I said, it feels really good. Now, mind you, this is a brand new vehicle, so it better damn well feel pretty good. But long term, I can definitely see this being a very fun commuter. I like the way it handles. The steering wheel is surprisingly giving me sufficient feedback. And like I said, I've driven cars and sedans that has worse steering than this. Right. That's meant to be a little bit more sportier. So I like, and to me, when I drive a sports car every day. So I can only really give my perspective. And every vehicle I drive, I try to give a comparison in terms of how it feels compared to a sports car. That is kind of like my trait. That is just me being unique. And I can say this is pretty fun. And that is honestly shocking to me because, like I said, you see the raised ride height, you see the tailgate, and you see the 4 doors. You're like, how fun can this really be, you know? But at the end of the day, like I said, a little pull right there, a little turn. Nice, decent feedback coming from it. Now, don't misconstrue what I'm saying is thinking this is like some sort of sports car, Z06 or something like that.
No, it's not.
It is not.
It's far.
It's far from that. But when you take it for what it is, as a affordable, almost commuter-esque car, this makes for a fun everyday driver. And with the fact that they're coming out with an electric vehicle variant of this that is going to be what, 200 to 250 miles per charge, I believe, or somewhere along that range, that sounds very enticing. I'm not gonna lie. That's right now the MPG is about 28 city, and about 32 highway. So that's a pretty compelling package. And like I said, you know, I'm a horsepower guy, so I can always do with more horsepower. But realistically speaking, you know, again, I'm gonna preface what I'm about to say is, more horsepower is always good. But sometimes, you know, sometimes the car just feels nice with what it has. Yeah. And honestly, like I said, when you look into the context of what this vehicle is trying to provide, the target audience, who it's for, what it's for, you really can't go wrong with what this offers and what it's trying to do. It feels, sorry, you know, it's a new area to me.
No, that's fine. I was gonna apologize to the people behind the camera. If it's a little shaky, I apologize. It's kind of a bumpy road, and I did arms today, so.
But you know, you see, this is what my other cameras are for too, you know. Yeah, so, right. Because you know, I know you like to have noodle arms over there, but it's all right.
I see. I give it inch, take them out.
But overall, like I said, the interior, this is called the ultimate trim, so this is the highest trim available, and it starts at about 26,000, and with options it's about 28. This particular one is about 28,000, and like I said, when you look at it contextually, think about the price, think about what it's offering, it is a pretty comfortable interior. It's not a bad interior. Now, there is a little bit too much use of soft touch plastics, but what I do love is, I hate when car makers, when they offer something affordable or cheap, whatever you want to classify it as, when they have the dash right here. Can you show that, please? They love to leave like just bare plastic that just looks nasty. They did something different by adding some sort of rubberized, almost perforated-esque feeling material here, and it feels really good. It's actually pretty appealing to the eye aesthetically. It's not bad. It looks good, and I enjoy that because they could have been lazy and just left it as pure, bare, disgusting plastic, but they didn't. They decided to give you a little bit more of a touch. Right. A little touch here and there, you know, and that goes a long way because it shows just a little bit more care in terms of what a vehicle is offering. And overall, like I said, I'm pleasantly surprised and impressed by the way this vehicle is handling. It's raised, and my mind is still having trouble with computing the fact that this is not a sports car, but it feels better. It feels better than some sport cars that I've driven before, and that's appalling. to those cars that I've driven, it feels better than some sedans that is meant to be both sedan-ish and sporty-ish. The steering is way better. I'll tell you right now, I don't care. This steering is way better than that CTS 2.0 TW did. That steering was by far the worst thing I think I've ever felt, and still have ever felt to this day. Oh my god. And it has lane departure warning for those that are wondering what that beep is for.
The crazy thing, it also has Apple CarPlay as well.
Apple CarPlay and the Android equivalent. I forgot what that exactly supposed to be. Oh, okay. Thank you, Paul. Android Auto. Standard in this trim. So like I said, it has pretty much all your bells and whistles. So this is something I could ideally see, you know, a vehicle, first-time vehicle for you know, your first college student, especially like an SC. Shout out to my Trojans. This is something, like I said, it has the rear seats can be completely folded down for more cargo room. One thing I like to point out though is that this is ideal for two people or like a startup family. But if you're a tall family, you might run into some issues here and there. It is not the most friendly for tall occupants.
I'm gonna tell you, for the simple fact, my good people, I'm 6'3", 6'4".
Not bad.
Yeah, but my seat is not all the way back. Yeah, I'm gonna try to put it back.
Put it all the way back real quick. But see, if you put it all the way back, that is at the expense of the back occupant behind the person who's in the front. There is no space back there for anyone that's sitting behind her other than like a child in the car seat. So, alright. See, the only thing is that on my side, I'm Gucci over here with the electric adjustable seats. They weren't too kind to the passenger. That is well, I'm good over here.
I keep trying to tell people that, man. Like,
don't forget about your passengers too.
Yes, bro. We like the electric side too. Like, we like to be able to put our seat back with a button, and you know, recline it too.
Is it a right here, Paul? It's straight. It's supposed to be straight, right?
Push either way.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, you know, I got a lever. It's 2019. You know, you got Apple CarPlay.
You could have added a little electronic, you know, but it's not too bad. You remember, like I said, this is meant to be affordable. So, okay, it's a nice little pep. You know, you wouldn't think something that is like this can do a little overtake like that, and that's all I like. It's overtaking. You know, I like being able to do maneuvers on the road, and that is extremely important to me personally. I love the looks of this vehicle aesthetically. I think it looks very aggressive. I feel like if they were to bring up like a top tier performance model with this, maybe with like 350 horsepower, oh man, this would be a lot of fun. This would be a lot of shut up. This would be a lot of fun because I feel like this platform is capable of handling that amount of power, and I think that would just be the right touch of something premium with this platform, just to up the ante a little bit. Because I don't know of any other CUV in the market right now that is offering that much horsepower. Now granted, there might be a market for it. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just a horsepower guy, so you know, I'm just talking about my personal preference. But overall, like I said, man, I really do enjoy this. And like I said, this is an ideal first-person time in car. Your college student, your daughter, your anything. Anything else you like to add, Tony?
To be honest, bro, I think you covered it all. The only thing you really didn't cover was your favorite leather seats.
Oh, that's what I said. It offers a little bit of a leatherette interior. It has a perforated backing to the seat. I do enjoy that. Like I said, this has the trim that is most ideal to me. If it would behoove anyone listening to this video, please, or watching, please get an interior that you will like. Do not get cloth. If this had a cloth interior, I'd tell you right now it would be a no. So personally, would I own this vehicle? I'll put it in the context. Would I own it with what I'm used to right now? If I were to be able to afford a second vehicle, yes, absolutely, I would definitely own this. But would I have this in my family? Yes, I could definitely have this in my family. This is honestly a vehicle that I could personally recommend to anyone looking into a affordable option and an economy type car that is also fun, not a drag to drive, and it's just overall pleasant. So with that being said, I think I covered everything I need to about this vehicle. Thank you so much to South Bay Hyundai. Once again, shout out to my guy Paul in the back.
Paul.
If you guys need any Hyundais, Genesis, whatever, any car questions, please come down to South Bay Hyundai right here in Torrance and talk to my guy Paul. Shout out to Jermaine for this opportunity. Appreciate you so much. And with that said, I think there's nothing else needs to be said.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you guys for watching. Have a blessed day. It's your boy Jeameave.
Your boy Matt.
And we'll see you guys in the next video.
Yes,
We're out.
Sir.